Hello everybody, it's Nova. I'm going to do my best to teach you guys how to wrap a crystal just like this style. We're going to be wrapping a piece of amethyst, and I'm going to have a small number of kits available, maybe 10 kits, and if you order a kit, then I will have pre-cut your cordage for you. Make things a little bit simpler for your first time. You'll get two 20-inch pieces of cord, two 16-inch pieces of cord, and one 24-inch piece of cord. Okay? The first piece that you're going to need is going to be one of these 20-inch pieces, okay? And I want you to keep it folded just like this so that we have the middle over here. And then you're going to take your two 16-inch pieces and you're going to basically put the two centers together, and then you're going to take the tails from the shorter cord and put them through. Okay? Get it nice and tight, but not too tight yet. Okay? Because we're going to figure out where we're going to put this on the crystal in a minute. All right, now do the same thing with the other 16-inch. Find the center. Just put it right on there. And then run the tails through it. Okay. Now we're going to look at our crystal. Now we're going to open this up like this. So the two 16-inch pieces are coming off. That's going to be what's on the center of the front of your crystal. Okay, now I want you to find somewhere on the crystal that you will have like a little something to grab onto. You're going to be looking for some little ridge or something. You could even grab down here where it's a little wider and start there. So find which side of the crystal you believe is the front, the prettier side to you, and stick that on the two 16-inch pieces that we've attached. Separate them enough so that they are where you would like them on the front of the crystal. Okay? Then you're going to take the main cord and tie a knot. This could be a little difficult. Maybe you might have somebody hold the crystal for you if this is your first time. It's going to be a little slippery. All right, double knot that. And you're going to want to make this a pretty tight knot so that it holds on really good. When you first get it on there, you kind of get it on there kind of loose, and then adjust it to where you would like it, and then give it a little better of a tug. Okay? It's still not going to really hold on to the crystal great yet. So maybe pull down on it a little. Get it where you like it. And I'm going to do it a little bit tighter again. Okay. Now you're going to really have to kind of concentrate to keep this on here until it's until you have a few more knots. Okay. So next, I always like to start in the front. We're going to do that center knot right in between the two where we attached the two 16-inch pieces. Okay. Okay, so there is that center knot. And now we're going to turn the crystal so that, and really try hard to hold on to it because you will lose your work. Okay, now we're going to grab one from the back and one from the front and do a side knot. it's a little, again, a little bit difficult. It's a little easier if somebody's holding the crystal for you. Get it nice and tight. And then I always like to give it a little tug everything up to the top. So there's the front knot, and there's the first side knot. Now I'm going to do the other side. We're just going to keep building knots until we get to the tippity top of the crystal. I'm going to tighten all the knots a little bit better now that I've got all 3 in. And again, tug up on everything so it's on there nice and good. And this is what I got so far. Okay. Now we're going up a level, so I'm going to take one from this knot, from the front knot, and one from the side knot, and make another knot. Now it's holding on a little better. Okay, and the same thing on the other side. Okay, so it's really starting to build now. Give it another tug up. Let's see what we're building here. It's like a net. Go to the back and do one in the back. Tug it up a little bit too. Okay. Do it again. Next layer, this is going to be the 3rd row of knots. I'm going to tug everything up one more time. This is what I've got now. It's in there really nice and secure. Okay, so once you have them like this, now you're going to take your 24-inch piece of cord, and I always like to make my knot first before I attach it. So we're just going to do this so that I can slip it tighter once I get it on there. Stick the crystal through. Now put this knot in the back. Okay, just a regular old knot. We're not going to double knot this one. I want you to pull on each individual string so that they're all in there as much as possible. No like sagging strings. Nice and tight. Tighten your knot again. Now I'm not going to be able to teach you guys how to do a square knot on this video, but there's plenty of videos on square knots on YouTube that you can use. But it's a very simple knot. It's nothing to be intimidated by, okay? You just basically put this one side on top and the other side goes underneath and then through, okay? So they're both kind of through the other loop, and then you pull them down, okay? If you don't know how to do a square knot, I'm sorry, I really don't feel like you can see well enough on this video for me to try to teach that right now, but like I said, there's lots of resources on YouTube for that. And we're going to pull each string again. Make sure they're all in there good. And now you're going to do square knots until you have a little over an inch or right around an inch, whatever makes you happy, of square knots. And I want you to look at your crystal and make sure that nothing is loose at this point, because right now you can still pull up if there's something loose here by just grabbing the square knot and pulling each string just a little harder if you've got some loose stuff going on. Okay, now that looks really good, nice and tight. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and do my square knots. Okay, so here's my about an inch of Solomon or square knots. Okay, what you want to do is fold it over and see if you've got a nice loop like this that you can run a necklace through. However big you need it for whatever necklace you're going to be putting in there. You want to give it a little extra allowance because we're going to make some knotting at the bottom here. And it's going to take away a little bit of the room in the loop, okay? Now these knots, these strings here, when you're happy with the length of this, we're going to cut these, okay? Don't cut too much, but don't leave too much either. I'm going to leave it about like this. Can you see this? A little bit there, okay? Now you're going to fold this over, and you've still got your two strings on the sides here. We're going to run them in front, cross them, run them in the back, and do another knot. This knot needs to be super tight. Okay, and then at this point what I do is just, let me see, cut them real short, teeny. You see that little guy right there? Little tiny guy. And I'm going to do a soft burn. And I touch it with my finger. You might not want to do that. It's hot. Okay, and the same thing on the other side. Just leave it nice and short. Little tiny burn. Okay, now you've got your last piece of cordage over here. Should be, yeah, it's a 20-inch piece. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing, make a knot again. Find the center. Okay, so there's my little loop. Now I'm going to take this little guy and stick him right in there, and the knot is going to go in the back again. Okay. Now look at the front and see if it's where you want it. It needs to be, you know, maybe 3 or 4 knots above the bottom. I mean, above the bottom of the Solomon knots. So mine is like right here. I don't know how good you guys can see this. Then you're going to do a few Solomon knots here until you're happy with it. Let's see how many. Always look at the front and see where your knot is landing in the front, because you want it to be right underneath the knot above it. I always give them a really good tug. This is really holding your necklace together. Make sure it's where you want it before you tighten down. It's looking really good. You might even want to go down like a little bit over the crystal, the top of the crystal. It's really whatever makes you happy, and until it feels nice and tight, because you don't want to wear it a couple of times and have the top kind of like starting to fall apart on you. So I'm gonna, since this is a point, I'm gonna go down over the crystal just a little bit. Maybe one more. It's looking really good, nice and strong. Okay, and then I always take my scissors and go into this, where your necklace is going to go in, and kind of open that up with the scissors. So you got a nice hole there for your necklace to go in. And this is what it looks like in the front now. Really nice and strong. I'll take some pictures of this later so that you guys can see it better, because it's like almost 10 o'clock at night right now. It's really dark. Even with all this lighting I have in here, it's just not enough. Okay, so then you're gonna, when you're happy with it, make sure you're happy before you cut these. There's nothing you can do once you cut these. Okay, nice and small like before. We're gonna do a teeny tiny little burn. Both sides. Try not to get heat on your crystal, just on the wrap. Okay, and there you go. Ready to get stuck on a little necklace or whatever you would like. Now I like to say just a little bit about amethyst. Here's a pretty piece here. This is really nice to have like by your nightstand. It eases anxiety. It helps you to rest peacefully. It also gives you psychic protection and connection to the divine. Really nice for the nightstand. Also, if somebody is fighting addiction, having a piece in their pocket or wearing a little necklace like this is good for helping fight addiction. Okay, and you guys can find more information about the qualities of these stones through a really good book. I have it right here. Mine's a little worn because I've had it for a while and I really enjoy it. It's the Book of Stones. You can get it on Amazon for like 20 bucks, but it's a nice thick book and it's got all kinds of information about the makeup of the stones, but also the like spiritual vibration of them, the energy that they're emitting so that they can affect your frequency. Okay, I love you all. I hope everyone is well. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye-bye.